Bonjour, mes amis. Language learning in our 50s, 60s, and beyond isn't about perfection. It's about persistence. I'm Kathy, and welcome back to Thriving Gracefully, where we celebrate living vibrantly. My recent video on learning French after 60 resonated with thousands of you, and your comments were filled with hard-earned wisdom, encouragement, and great questions. So today, I'm answering your most common questions and sharing real stories from viewers and providing ideas and inspiration to help you keep moving forward on your own language journey. I've received so many great questions, and I'm going to do my best to answer some of the most common ones right now. Question number 1. What resources did you use to learn French? I've used a combination of things, and it changes as I progress. I started with a structured 90-minute-a-week course online and eventually in person with Alliance Française. They have more than 100 chapters in the US alone and, of course, around the world. And mine has hybrid courses allowing both in-person and online options. I soon added Babbel to drill vocabulary and grammar, and then Babbel Live to get more speaking practice. I'm in search of a replacement for Babbel Live. It's kind of pricey, and I'll be evaluating what I find online. A few of you mentioned Lingoda, Pimsleur, and Memrise, so I'll take a look at those for sure. Each app is a little different, and the choice depends on your needs and your budget. I work with a tutor these days through the Preply app to get more practice speaking and to learn how to express myself more fluidly in French. And I watch French content online, often slowing the speed to 75%. The advantage of a tutor is that you can focus the work on areas you need to work on, and the sessions are on a regular schedule, so you're more likely to show up even on the tough days. Babbel Live, for example, offers 1-hour class sessions you sign up for, but it's easy to do nothing if you're not proactive. And of course, real-life immersion helped a lot when I studied in Lyon and Paris, which I plan to do again soon. And I'll link everything I found helpful in the description below. And also, don't forget about reading in French, very important. Question number 2. How did you stay motivated when progress felt slow? Great question. First, I'd say just expect it to be slow unless you're super disciplined and want to work at it every day for an hour or more. The reality is most of us have busy lives, and it's also rather tedious to be drilling and studying in another language for hours on end, unless you have a compelling motivation like an impending move or work or something. It's good to have a reason for learning a new language, but it doesn't have to be as powerful as moving to the country. I mostly just want to do it for the challenge and to maintain my connections with family and friends in France. And I've found that sticking with it, even just a couple hours a week, has added up. Now that I'm at the intermediate level, I can carry on a simple conversation in French. I realize, though, that there's a vast amount of vocabulary to learn, along with learning how ideas are really expressed versus me translating an idea from English and expressing it in French, which can get the point across, but not very elegantly. My tutor's helping me with this, but sometimes my progress feels really slow. I remind myself, one step at a time. Also, I try to remember that my goal is to be understood, not to be perfect. I can't tell you how many times I've been complimented on my French when I'm in France. I make a lot of mistakes, sometimes a bit embarrassing, but they understand me for the most part, and they appreciate my effort. Before we go on, do you have a story about how you stay motivated and make progress? Tell us in the comments. Question number 3, what about memory? Doesn't it get harder as we age? Well, yes and no. First off, when I took French back in high school, it was for an hour a day, every day of the week. Even at 64, if I were doing that, it'd be easier to progress faster. The other thing is, if I had to study for tests like I did in school, I'd probably work harder, honestly. I personally have not found memory issues to be what's in my way. It's more about just how much time I spend on language learning. When I do more, I do better and I remember more. It's just that simple. I might have to work a little harder than a teenager, but that's okay. Question number 4. Do you need to travel to learn a language well? Not at all. Travel helps, but you can learn right from home. Many of you told me that you're learning online with tutors, apps, language exchange partners, reading, and more. The important thing is just to start and keep going. If you struggle with pronunciation, it will be important to talk with native speakers through meetups and online resources, and to listen to the spoken language as much as you can through podcasts, YouTube videos, French movies, and the like. Question number 5, where did you study and stay during your immersion experiences? In Lyon, I attended École interculturelle de français pour les étrangers, recommended by a friend, and it was a great experience. Many of you also mentioned Lyon Bleu, which I haven't tried, but it gets high marks. In Paris, I studied twice at École Suisse, a school I found online with flexible weekly programs. Alliance Française in Paris is another option, though their scheduling is less flexible. As for accommodations, I've had great luck with Airbnb, affordable apartments close to the school. Some schools can also help with arranging homestays too. Now let's move on to your stories. Some of you are working hard and making great progress. One viewer told me she's now speaking basic French with her grandchildren. Another just joined a language meetup group in her town. There are so many ways to pursue language learning. The key is just to pick a few simple strategies you can stick with and to just get started. If you're watching this and feeling unsure, here's what I heard from you, my viewers, starting with the theme of sticking with it when the going gets tough. Check out what this viewer had to say. I began my French journey 12 years ago. Learning French is the greatest personal achievement of my life. It's not an easy thing to learn another language. It takes a lot of time, dedication, and hard work. Wow, that is so true. Here's another viewer comment that resonated with me. I started learning French at age 60. I keep slogging away daily and have slowly but surely become better. It's truly slow and steady for me, but I am committed to being as good as I can be in the amount of time I have. I love this one because look, we are all busy, as I said before. We can only do what we can do. Let's celebrate that and feel the sense of accomplishment. All right, let's go on to the second theme, resources for language learning. Check out this comment. I started at 77 2 years ago and have not missed a day. So many excellent resources on YouTube. With all the resources now, I feel so good about my French pronunciation. It's not perfect, but I'm learning. There's so much to take away from this one. First, it's not too late to start. This viewer is nearly 80, and she talks about the resources online, which are numerous. And finally, she accepts that perfection is not the goal. This is really inspiring. Here's some super practical advice for language learning. 2 things helped me more even than structured in-person classes. Using apps, even Duolingo, if you make the most of it by speaking your answers whenever you can, and the other is going to informal meetups where practicing the language is part of the intention and you have to speak. I love this one. Going to meetups is a very good and low-cost way to get speaking practice. And speaking of low or no-cost methods for language learning, here's a quick comment from another one of my viewers. I've immersed myself in a variety of online videos and resources to help me grasp the language more effectively. I'm taking this experience one day at a time, eager to see where my efforts will lead me. What a hopeful message. Plus, it's fun to see what's out there online. Several viewers also commented on how hard it is to understand when fluent speakers talk so fast. Watching videos and films online helps us to get a feel for the spoken language. Some of my viewers commented on immersion, which is indeed a great way to boost your language learning. Here's an insight from one viewer whose life was truly changed by an experience in France. I loved the 2-week, 50-year-plus courses with ILA in Montpellier. I've made friends from all over the world of similar age and outlook. Love that. A school in France and not in Paris for people in our age group. But it's not all about France. Here's what another viewer shared. For those in America who want to be immersed in French and can't manage the cost of a stay in Paris, here's a tip. Just across the border in Canada, you can live totally in French in the province of Quebec. French is their mother tongue and they speak it day in and day out, and you can too if you visit. There are enchanting places to stay such as Montreal or Quebec City. Nous vous invitons au Canada et au Québec. I can attest to the truth in this, having visited both places. I think I'll try Canada for a future immersion experience. I thought you might be heartened by this comment that I received from another viewer. I had a conversation with a neurologist who is doing research into dementia and Alzheimer's. She said a best practice for keeping the brain developing is learning a new language. So we're on the right path. How cool is that? If you've been thinking about learning French or any language, please hear me. Don't let your age stop you. I'm doing it at 64, and so are thousands of you who are older than I am. If this video encouraged you or gave you ideas, will you give it a thumbs up? It really helps more women over 50 discover this content. And I'd love for you to subscribe to Thriving Gracefully. This community is all about feeling good, staying curious, and making the most of life after 50. I've got more videos coming soon on learning, travel, fashion, and staying healthy and engaged in this special season of life. Merci for being here. À bientôt. See you next time.